Any idea why Java is popular?
Because of its platform independence.
Platform independence. Beautiful. Yes. Who was this? Janani? Right. Okay.
Sir,
Any other?
Satish here, sir. It is
Yeah.
very secure and easy to compare to very other languages, sir.
Secure and easy. Yes, Satish, you're right. Yeah. So let's just actually quickly come here. You're right. Platform independent or platform neutral, it's object oriented and it is secure, multi-threaded, and most importantly, it has a large community. And you also see, I mean, those who are aware with Python and other things, today community plays a very big role. What do you mean by community? It's just a large group of people who are coordinating with each other to make a tool or a platform much better and much useful. And it is open source also. I have not really mentioned here. It is open source. You could customize it to any extent. That's what people have done actually. Oracle has it's a Sun Microsystems, in fact. They were the first one to come up with this. Then it eventually got over by Oracle. Now, so Oracle has the rights for it. But in spite of it, Java, you have just like Android. You know, Samsung also makes Android phones. OnePlus also makes Android phones. But what's the difference? Can somebody tell me between the phones which Samsung make and the phones which OnePlus makes? Anybody?
The user interface.
User interface, yes, definitely. A very major factor. Of course, there are a lot of things which vary.
Processor.
Processor, yes. What if I take two phones, one is of Samsung and one is of OnePlus? Both have the same configuration and screens, but still something drastically differs apart from UI. What is it?
Is it brand?
Yes, brand is obvious.
OS.
OS.
Specifications.
Specification. Yeah, somebody said OS. OS. Who's that? Yes, you're right, actually. Can you just elaborate? Whoever it is, can you just tell your name and elaborate? Like I said, I don't have the multiple windows open here. So I would you to tell your name and then just continue.
It's from eBox team, sir.
Okay. Anyone from the participants? Yeah, so basically, both, whether it is Samsung or whether it is OnePlus, they use Android open source project, AOSP. But what matters in OnePlus is they've just forked that project. Forking is where you actually make a copy of that open source project and you then customize on top of it. You've heard about this Oxygen OS, right, which they use? I'm sure right now you must have some bell ringing. Oxygen OS is what OnePlus uses. So it's actually a forked version of Android. They'll take it and they'll probably tweak it. They'll improve it, add on to it. So similarly with Java also. Now, why did I bring that into picture here? With Java also, the core of Java tool is called Java Development Kit, JDK. I'll just come to it in a while. There are different companies who have taken this from the open source Java project and they have customized things on top of it. And it could be Adopt Open JDK, and it could be, several other JDKs which some people use internally. Again, they might not make it open source or they might make it open source. It's a different question altogether. Okay. And platform neutral, object oriented, we'll also get into it, secure and robust, multi-threaded. Any idea what's multi-threaded, guys?
No, sir.
Running multiple programs simultaneously.
Running multiple programs simultaneously. That would be multitasking. You're close to it, something similar.
Like suppose we are printing any document, at the time of printing only we can make changes.
At the time of printing, you can make changes. Yes, that's an example of a multi-threaded application. Yeah, can
Yeah.
you rephrase that in a much
Mm.
more lucid way?
Like, mm, mm,
No problem. So you've got the essence, right?
like a single process with a multiple action, like
Yeah, from same process, you will start doing multiple things,
multiple actions. Yeah.
multiple actions. Yes, that's called multi-threaded. Yes, we'll take a look at it also. There is a topic dedicated. I may not be able to touch upon everything here, but the most important and very obvious one is object-oriented. It took the world by a storm, right? The old object-oriented programming. It is not something new, actually. If you start digging into the history of object-oriented programming, I mean, after this session, or even during, I don't know, you can just do a wiki on object-oriented approach. It's been there from very long time. It is as old as any other procedure-oriented programming or even functional programming. So these are all different paradigms or different styles of programming. So, object-oriented programming was the de facto, or in fact, even now is a de facto standards for many of the projects. Why is that? We'll take a look at it also, because that's coming up next in our subsequent discussions. All right. So secure and robust, yes, it is time tested because it is driven by a large community. It is not that there are no bugs or there is no scope for bugs. There will be. See, no company, no vendor can make something 100% secure and 100% robust. There will be eventually vulnerabilities which will be explored by hackers. And the robustness. So basically, when you say something is robust, what do you mean? It is very stable. Okay, it can adapt itself well, scale itself well. It is stable, doesn't fail you often. So all these things can go for a toss. It is not that once it is done, it is done. No. Every now and then there'll be somebody, just when you think everything is stable and secure, there'll be some vulnerability report, there'll be some instability report. So, but it is largely community driven. There are a lot of companies and developers who will take interest in it and fix it. Keep giving fixes and solutions, and over a period of time, it becomes very secure. So Java has gone a lot of revision from 1995, 96, all the way until now. It's gone through a lot of revisions, enhancements. So that way we are in safe hands. We can clearly say we are in safe hands. Okay.